AEM 21-8223DC and 21-8223DP air intake systems are engineered to add horsepower and reduce restriction compared to OEM air intakes, and they come with a lifetime limited warranty. AEM intakes utilize a reusable dry flow air filter. These oil-free filters are durable and very easy to clean. AEM 21-8223DC and 21-8223DP air intakes fit 2008 to 2010 Dodge Challenger models with 6.1-liter engines, 2009 to 2010 Dodge Challenger models with 5.7-liter engines, and 2009 to 2010 Dodge Charger models with 5.7-liter and 6.1-liter engines. See the AEM catalog or aemintakes.com for complete model details. These air intake systems are not legal for highway use in California or other states adopting California emission standards. Check aemintakes.com for up-to-date information on emissions legality for specific parts on specific vehicles. AEM power testing showed an estimated power gain of 24 horsepower at 5,400 RPM with this air intake installed on a 2009 Dodge Challenger with a 6.1-liter engine. Actual results will vary depending on condition of vehicle, mileage, weather, and other variables. Here's a comparison of the vehicle sound on the dyno with the stock OEM system versus AEM's air intake. AEM air intakes come with detailed instructions which include pictures and diagrams. AEM intakes are engineered for specific vehicles to produce a safe horsepower increase. Make sure vehicle is parked on level surface. Set parking brake. If engine has run in the past 2 hours, let it cool down. Disconnect all negative battery terminals. Raise the front of the vehicle with the jack. Refer to your owner's manual for proper jack and jack stand placement to properly support the vehicle. Support your vehicle using properly rated jack stands before wheel removal or while working under the vehicle. Do not discard stock components after removal of the factory system. Remove the bolt securing the OEM airbox and loosen the hose clamp at the throttle body. Pull to remove the crankcase breather hose from the nipple on the head cover. Unplug the IAT sensor. To unplug the IAT sensor, slide the red tab back to unlock the latch on the plug. Then press in on the latch and pull the plug off of the sensor. For gray tabbed connectors, push the top of the gray tab in and simply pull the connector off. Pull the rubber inlet hose off the throttle body, then lift and remove the OEM airbox assembly. Carefully remove the IAT sensor from the OEM rubber inlet hose. Set the sensor aside for future use. In the wheel well area of each side, remove the 3 clips securing the belly pan. From underneath the car, remove 3 clips, 7 screws, and 2 bolts from the belly pan. The number of each may vary depending on the vehicle. Remove the belly pan. For maximum performance from your intake system, you may choose to remove the air deflector. When installing the intake system, do not completely tighten the hose clamps or mounting hardware until instructed to do so. From underneath the car, install the M8 rubber mount through the slotted hole in the sheet metal. Secure it with one M8 washer and nut. Do not completely tighten the M8 nut. This will allow room for adjustment. Hold the rubber coupler as shown. Squeeze the hump end of the coupler to collapse it into itself. From underneath the car, hold the collapsed coupler firmly, then insert it into the large hole in the sheet metal. Make sure that the hump is all the way through the hole, then release the coupler and manipulate it until the sheet metal snaps into the groove in the coupler. Orient the coupler as shown. Install the grommet into the lower pipe and attach the filter with one number 56 clamp. Carefully install the IAT sensor into the grommet. Install the lower pipe assembly using one M8 washer, one M8 nut, and one number 56 clamp. Adjust the lower pipe assembly so that there is equal space between the filter, bumper support, fender liner, and marker lamp. When a good fit is achieved, tighten both nuts on the rubber mount and the number 56 clamp. Because Because the stock IAT connectors and wire colors may vary between Dodge vehicles of the same model year, your AEM intake system includes a universal IAT extension harness kit. This kit must be spliced into the existing wiring. Slit open the insulation cover at the end of the IAT connector cable to expose the two wires. Cut the wires 1 to 2 inches, 5 centimeters, below the connector. Strip the ends of the wires at the connector. Crimp on a PermaSeal connector onto each of the IAT connector wires. Strip both ends of the black and white 20 gauge wires. Crimp a PermaSeal connector onto one side of the black 20 gauge and white 20 gauge extension wires. Strip the ends of the cut IAT wires near the throttle body. Crimp the stripped stock wires into the PermaSeal connectors of the black and white extension wires. Because the color of the stock wires may vary with each vehicle, pay close attention to the following process. Crimp the IAT connector wires to the opposite end of the black and white extension wires, but ensure that the IAT wire colors are properly matched. Using a heat gun or other safe heat source, heat shrink each of the PermaSeal connectors until clear sealant comes out of both ends of the connector. Slip the protective convoluted split loom wire cover over the newly extended IAT wire harness. Trim as needed. Route the IAT extension harness beneath the throttle body and towards the driver's side of the engine. Route the IAT harness extension and attach it with the 2 zip ties. Position the female IAT connector next to the lower intake tube. From underneath the vehicle, plug the IAT connector onto the IAT sensor in the lower intake tube. Be sure to pull the red lock tab up to secure the connector. When installing the intake system, do not completely tighten the hose clamps or mounting hardware until instructed to do so. Loosely install a number 56 hose clamp over the upper opening of the elbow hump hose. Install the silicone coupler and 2 number 56 clamps onto the throttle body. Slide the coupler all the way onto the throttle body and secure it by tightening one of the number 56 clamps. Insert the lower end of the upper intake pipe into the rubber coupler, then carefully angle the other end into the throttle body coupler. The clamp on the rubber coupler may need to be extra loose to achieve this. The lower end of the pipe should be inserted into the rubber coupler to a depth of about 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. Slide the pipe all the way into the throttle body coupler until it bottoms out. When proper fit is achieved, tighten the 2 remaining clamps. For most application, install the supplied 1/2 inch inside diameter hose between the crankcase vent on the head cover and the nipple on the upper intake pipe. Secure the 1/2 inch hose with 2 small hose clamps. On some 5.7 liter engines, connect the stock crankcase vent hose to the supplied plastic adapter nipple. Connect a 4-inch section of the 1/2 inch inside diameter hose onto the other end of the plastic adapter nipple. Connect the hose to the intake pipe and secure it with the small hose clamps. Install the belly pan with the 9 clips, 7 screws, and 2 bolts removed in steps 5 and 6. Position the inlet pipes for the best fitment. Be sure that the pipes and any other components do not contact any part of the vehicle. Tighten the rubber mount, all bolts, and hose clamps. Check for proper hood clearance. Readjust pipes if necessary and retighten them. Inspect the engine bay for any loose tools and check that all fasteners that were moved or removed are properly tightened. Reconnect negative battery terminals and start the engine. Let the vehicle idle for 3 minutes. Perform a final inspection before driving the vehicle. It will be necessary to check AEM air intakes periodically for realignment, clearance and tightening of all connections. Failure to follow the above instructions or proper maintenance may void warranty. Go to AEMintakes.com to find products, download installation instructions, view dyno charts showing estimated horsepower gains, and for other product details.